And now we have the Democrats preparing with Obama's executive order to legalize 30-plus million illegal aliens and then allow them to bring their families in. Congressional Republicans are to grill Obamacare consultant Gruber, who calls Americans dumb and admits they lied to people about Obamacare. That's in Reuters. Well, that's good. Why don't you repeal what the Republicans helped write? We know it's a fraud. Go ahead and grill Gruber. But then the House body needs to put pressure on Joe Biden Boehner, and all the rest of the blue bloods. I just keep hammering on that. Listen to this. This is just the latest release. Obama deputies free 30,862 foreign criminals, many of them with aggravated crimes. That means, robbing something armed or raping somebody or arson or child molestation. And that's just the latest of the 129,921 illegals released out of jail cells just this year. It's out of the Daily Caller. I laugh in a sad laugh. I'm not happy about it. It's just so ridiculous. Rahm Emanuel and Representative Gutierrez to rally immigrants under Obama's executive order. I meant to bring the Austin American Statesman in here from Friday, but it had the headline that immigrants set to get documents. And it was talking about how the immigrants and the migrants, and I sat there, they'll never call them illegal aliens or people here to get something free. Because of that old cliche that, all the immigrants are perfect, little angels, and they just want to work hard. Yeah, there are a lot of immigrants that want to come work hard because they get paid a lot more here than they could in their country. Great. It doesn't change the subject that I can't go anywhere in the world and get free welfare like they can here, and that it's designed to create a new voting bloc. And a lot of Democrats I know go, well, it's a good strategy for the party. A good strategy? It's kind of like the unions supporting NAFTA and GATT. That's like, I'm on the winning team. I slit my own throat. It'd be like if a criminal was about to slit your throat and you said, let me help you, because I'll then be on the winning team. It is what I call mass group Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome has been around forever, but the term got quantified by some cases in Europe where people kidnapped by their captors within a matter of weeks end up fighting the police, in some cases shooting them. They'll stand guard when the cops come to free you when you're kidnapped from the person beating you, raping you, whatever the case may be. Stockholm Syndrome. Well, let me give the government and all the special interests a little news flash here. I don't have Stockholm Syndrome. I'm upset. But at the same time, I am not going to mindlessly, like a bull running in a red cape, go after the low-level government people, most of which are more awake than the general public in my experience, and are usually the people giving us all the key intel that turns out to be accurate, pulling my bacon out of the fire repeatedly. So as bad as the military and the police are, as bad as people, even in federal agencies are, on average, they're better than general public. Let me tell you something, because they know what's going on. They know this show's for real. My question is, how do I get the general public to realize how much danger we're in? Because there's a global, worldwide destabilization program from Australia to Germany to the United States. They're pulling the same race war garbage, the same open borders garbage. They're pulling the exact same garbage. In fact, I took a screenshot of it. I was going to just try to save it. I want to read this quote from Infowars.com. I got a screenshot of it yesterday. For some reason, I can't even get into my photos. I've got too many photos on this phone. It's just gotten ridiculous. And here's the camera roll. Let me find that quote. Already taken a ton of photos. I was out at the graffiti wall today where people do public street art, and looking for it. Thought I took a screenshot of that. Maybe I didn't. But basically, all the commenter, here it is. All the commenters said was, Joel Griffin said, "Are we supporting the cops today, InfoWars? You change your mind so much, it's hard to keep up." Ben Franklin says, screen name, "They support whichever side is right in each given situation, not one specific group in every situation." Joel Griffin goes on to say, "They support white against the police and police against black. Find me one example that proves me wrong." Well, Joel, that's a ad hominem attack. I believe it was wrong to shoot that black woman driving around the Capitol last year in cold blood. And I believe it was wrong that they choked that black guy to death up in New York, that where they just no-billed the cop. I think that type of illegal chokehold, the cop should get in trouble for doing that alone. And I think there's a lot of legitimate things about the police all over the country doing this asset forfeiture seizure, where in many jurisdictions they'll steal the money right out of your wallet. I mean, clearly there's boss hogs all over this nation. I've got a stack of examples today. But just to sit there and, again, go back to race mindlessly, burning down black churches, looting stores, is not going to help race relations or equality or anything. And just mindlessly getting into a fight with low-level people in the government is going to do nothing but help the globalists. Colin, Bobby, Joseph, Cole, Mark, and many others, your calls are straight ahead on the other side. How do we stop the Civil War? How do we stop the obvious race baiting by the Justice Department? How do we make the Republican neocons and rhinos take action and reverse Obama and his power grab?
Celebrate the spirit of freedom and liberty upon which our nation was founded at InfoWarsShop.com. Molon Lave is ancient Greek for come and take it. This popular design combines both classic Greek Spartan imagery with modern M16 assault rifles. Now available in women's tees and proudly made in the USA. And now you can protect yourself from corrupt cops with the InfoWars dash cam. It's your car's black box that records all that the driver sees and hears. And introducing the Block It Pocket. It renders your phone undetectable while protecting your private data and your health. Or take back your privacy and protect your personal information by getting your very own Detractor cell phone pouch. So get incredibly high-quality, freedom-based products and help fund the revolution at InfoWarsShop.com.
I mean, here's the headline, Bloomberg, most Americans see race relations worsening since Obama's election. How do you make the giant globalist screw job of this country a racial issue? You put in a so-called black president and say everybody's racist if you don't support doing what he says. And then when that doesn't work, you just try to stir stuff up with the police and the public and get a conflagration going. This is a crazy time to be alive. I saw 3 or 4 positive pieces of news just in one stack I was looking at today, so I want to get into that. Also, Middle Eastern news, massive explosions reported following Israeli airstrikes near Syrian capital. We're going to get into the latest on drone collisions, scare at Heathrow, Airbus and near miss with craft that ghosted into Britain's biggest airport undetected by air traffic control. That ties into rogue computerized cameras, plague BBC news presenters. Want to live forever? Tech firm wants to create your digital alter ego. South China Morning Post. I want to get into what the technocracy really means, because technology is being bent in a way as a Trojan horse to control humans and to basically lower our IQs and consciousness. Look what smartphones have done. Look what calculators have done. Yeah, they make things easy, but then no one knows how to do math. What are the side effects of this, especially when they're not side effects? Us using smartphones to get work done is a side effect of what the social engineers deployed them for. Saudi-born U.S. naval engineer allegedly gave undercover agent info on how to sink an aircraft carrier, showed up at the drop zone to get money from the FBI agent. That's just some of what's coming up. Man wielding knife stabs 4 people aboard Amtrak train in Michigan, CNN. What's the answer? Ban knives? Well, they're trying in England. Yeah, don't blame the guy with the knife. Just blame the knife. Of course, they're blaming the guy with the knife because it's not a gun. But in England, they go so far as to actually blame the knife because, you know, a block of knives at your house, why, it's going to come out of there at night and go kill people. This is the war against logic. You didn't build your business, Common Core math, fuzzy math. I want to go to Mark in Texas first, because he's former law enforcement, wants to give his take on MSNB or MSM. I call it dinosaur media, only focusing on race. Yeah, there's cases all the time where cops, you know, black cops kill whites, whites kill whites, Hispanic cops kill blacks, Hispanic cops kill whites, whites kill Hispanic cops. I mean, this stuff just goes on. Good shootings, bad shootings. It just goes on out of 320 million people. But they want to make a few deaths the whole issue. And then again in Denver, I have the video coming up. If you're a TV viewer, radio listeners can see it at Infowars.com. We simulcast at Infowars.com/show if you want to actually see it. The car runs over 2 cops. 2 of them were almost killed. And the crowd starts chanting, hit him again, hit him again. Think about that. Think about that. That's mob rule. That's mental illness. If I saw a group of cops run over some people, and then the cops chanted, hit him again, I would just go into a complete fit. And you would too. But what happens when citizens talk like that? Do you know those people that got hit? Do you know they're guilty of something? Do you want to have due process? See, I want to be given due process and treated like a human being. That means I've got to treat everybody else like that. I mean, this is just common sense stuff, and I don't know where it's going. But it shows how they've made it all about what color you are, how you dress, where you're from. It's all about gangs now. It's all about the surface. It's all about what you look like, the opposite of what Martin Luther King said.
You are watching the best of the Alex Jones Show, weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. Watch live at Infowars.com/show or become a member of InfoWarsNews.com and help us take resistance to the next level.